After we've added the classes with their attributes and functionality, we've added their relationship lines with their labels and multiplicity, then it's time to go back and view the requirements definition and be able to identify how do we get everything represented in the diagram. So you just go to your functional requirements list and you look through each detail to make sure it's fully represented here. So we look at movie info, we see we have a title, year, rating, a price, oh there's a price, a description, a picture. Oh, so we're missing a picture. So here we identify something we've missed. Then we simply go and add it. And actors, now notice we have, there we have an actor container right there. When here it tells us actors need a name, an agent, a birth date, and a role in the movie. We need rental days and star reviews. So it looks like we have all of those things. Then we have this customers can view movie list. So let's find out if that's going to be functionality. So where would that exist? We know that customers are going to interact with the system through the interface. And so we say we want to display the movie list. So here's a display function, but it's going to need both a layout, which has got the layout there. Notice when we check functionality, we want to check both that the function exists and the data that they need exists. So this display function is going to need a layout, which it has. It's also going to need a movie list. So let's go and see if who has the data for movie list, and that's the movie inventory. And sure enough, there's functionality, send view movie list data. Okay, so that functionality exists that a customer can view movie list. Customer can view movie info. Again, this is going to go through the interface. It has the layout, so it can find those directly. What about movie info? It's going to need to get the interface will need to get the data from movie info, and sure enough, there's functionality, send view movie info. And they have all the data to do that. All right, what about search, sort, and filter options on the movie list display? So here, up here when it's sending a movie info, this sends the whole thing. So if we want to search and sort, then we might want to figure out that we need different functions. So we need a function that is very similar to this, right? So send movie info data, but this one would be with a sort term, right? So when that function, when that interface calls it, it would send that sort term that it got from the customer in the interface. And so the list that would be returned would be different based on that sort term. Now notice how in the analysis class diagram, I have not required that you put anything in the parameters. But this is a good time if you start thinking of what it might need to be. When we get to the next class diagram, which is the design class diagram, we will be adding both the name and the type of the parameter. And so you can start thinking now, what are these going to be that I need? And you can add them if you want. They're not required at this point, but certainly in this case where it distinguishes one from another, they become a good idea. So I'm going to need one that has a sort term. I'm going to need one that has a filter term, a filter, and what was the other one? Search. Oh, and a search term. And here it would send a different list based on that search term. Okay, so there, that was functionality that wasn't represented, that now I found that out, it's represented, I can go back and find it. And that's the process. So let's keep going a little bit. A customer can review a movie 1 to 5 stars. So here we have a star review, so we see where that data is stored, but we don't have any functionality here that goes with that data to add a review. So here we see that we need functionality. So as you do this, notice that you will find both attributes that may be needed and functionality that may be needed, and the whole process is to determine if it exists and if it's connected with everything. And whenever you have some functionality, you want to make sure that you have the data to go with it. And so walk through those functional requirements, validate that you have all the details that are needed to fully implement the system.